Ladies and gentlemen, Ford, a classic automobile, and yes, that dash. You know what you're thinking. Happy days are here again. Beaver Car Cruise coming up in Beaver tomorrow. And this is Danny Nahas, you know, Nahas Appliances and Furniture Gallery. The really many driving forces that have operated this thing for years. He has been the catalyst behind it, even though he's too humble to admit it. But he's brought a friend to tell you about his vehicle, so please do that. Danny.
It's my friend John Kanapowski. This is his 1955 Ford. He restored the car. I'm going to let you tell him a little bit about it.
Really, there's not a lot to talk about. It's 1955 Ford, custom line. It's got electric windows, power steering, power disc brakes, air conditioning, and just a good cruising car.
All right, now, this is where I kind of show you a little bit of my knowledge, and I do mean a little bit. Henry Ford, Model T, the assembly line, one of the great stories that my friend Bud Smale from Smale Automotive and I used to talk about all the time. Everybody could afford one, everyone had one, and things kind of went along really well for decades until all of a sudden, a lot of competition. But in the 50s, what a lot of these car companies did, they put some muscle into these cars, and thus the muscle car era began. And that's one of the reasons why cruises like this are so popular. Danny, talk about the automobile industry and where it went from the 40s to the 50s and how a lot of these cars have become classics.
Well, in the 50s, after World War II, everybody was starting to have better jobs. They could afford cars. The cars became more modern. They became faster. They had more horsepower. So every family would have at least one car, which pre-World War II, that wasn't the case. A lot of people shared cars in families. You might have one car in a family if people had some money. So the good news is that after that, the 50s kicked in, people were more affluent, more cars came out, and you know, a lot of us that are at these cruises, you know, were born in the 50s, remembered the cars from the 50s, remembered the cars from the 60s. So all of us remember these muscle cars, the cars when the V8 started getting more horsepower, and you know, we have a fond memory of that. So that's the good news about coming to these cruises. You can remember cars your grandparents had, your parents had, depending on how old you are. And maybe a car that you went to Hank's in or went to Jerry's in, you know, when you were in high school. So that all brings back good memories.
Yeah, it does bring back good memories. And these cars all have a little giddy up too. And you know you want to feel the thunder, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, Beaver Car Cruise all day tomorrow, Jaggers tomorrow night. Not a better place to be. It starts here, it ends here on the main street of Beaver, Pennsylvania. Good night from your